What's going on, people? Welcome to Never Park the Bus. We have Magic in the building. We got Big Tony Tone. We got Gibbo. We got Charlie. We got Taff the Great. We got myself, Cass, Superstar. So this week, what we're talking about, I want to ask the question. Is VAR killing the game, or is the handball rule killing the game? Or is both? Or is it both? What do you think? Let's start with Big Tony. He's back. He's back, people.
Well, I don't know, maybe a bit more controversial than everyone, but I think VAR is helping the game. I stand to think that if it's handball, it's a penalty. If it's offside, it's offside, and if it's a red card, it's a red card. Whether people like it or not, where it's hit his hand and he's got nowhere to put it, or it's hitting by accident. The fact of the matter is, if the ball's going in a certain direction into goal, or it was a goal scoring opportunity, then it's prevented it. It's the same with offside. It's the same with whether the striker's in on goal. All right, there's going to be grey areas where you say it's never handball, it's never this, it's never that. But there's always teething problems in anything you do. So these things have to happen for it to get better. Otherwise, we'll still be talking about it was 10 miles offside and then 2-0 up and they scored 2 offside goals and we've lost the game. But we should have had 5 penalties and the ref's not giving it. So, yes, there's teething problems, but I tend to think that if it's a handball, it's a handball, it's a penalty, it's a pen. And that's it might be ruining it for certain fans now, but it will be better eventually. That's what I think.
So do you think that they should keep it as is, or they need to change it a bit? Or
They just need to be a bit more clearer. What they've done, they've tweaked it and saying, I don't know, that this part of the arm is not handball. I think that's what they put. But anything other than that is handball. Because last year they were saying, if there's any type of handball towards and then you score, then it's ruled out regardless. Now, if it hits here, then they don't rule it out. I mean, 2 weeks ago, Gabriel scored with his shoulder. And last year it would have been ruled out, and this year it wasn't. So they're trying to clarify it, but they're not as clear as they should be. So it's hit him on the back of the hand or the back of the arm, it can't be handball. But if it's hit your hand, it's hit your hand. That's it. That's what I think anyway.
So rules are rules. To be fair, I'm kind of a rules are rules person. Let's move it over to Charlie. What are you saying, Chaz?
Do you know what? I don't disagree that much with it, because last year I was saying, right, if it hits your hand, just make it a penalty. Let's make it clear and obvious. But that's rules come in, and it's absolutely pathetic. I didn't know how many times the ball hit someone's hand in a game. It's just ridiculous. I think the only person to get away with it was Arsenal. They're the only team to get away with it. Everyone else, I think you had Palace yesterday. We've had it twice. You had it with Lindelof the other week. So it's a bit ridiculous. But I think handball's always going to be a matter of opinion and a grey area. Because if it was before, it's like, oh, right, did he mean to do it? Did he not mean to do it? That's an opinion.
Yeah.
So I think it's a tough one. But in terms of VAR, I like it in general. I think it's helped the game quite a lot with some of, let's be honest, if you're offside, you're offside. If you're a toe offside, it's offside. But no,
that's a madness. I don't like that one. That toe thing. I can't get with that toe thing, bro. If I'm a size 12 and you're a size 6, I mean, come on, bro. That's crazy.
I think Aguero's massive calves, we wouldn't have got to the Champions League final.
see, for me, the problem I think with that is we've had a couple of instances where they were still offside by a toe's length or whatever, and the ref's still giving it. So for me, you get the couple of games where they do give it, and then you get a couple of games where they don't give it. So it's still a bit ambiguous. So I don't know.
I think this is where I like VAR, but I think the problem is the referees. I think that's the issue. Because there's no consistency. Like, how can you...
That's a good point.
...back on VAR and then go, every fan's like, how have they got that decision wrong? When they've freaking looked at it.
Yeah.
Right.
Referees, apparently.
Yeah. VAR's important. I think VAR is, the amount of money that's in football. these decisions can change. A team can get relegated based on the decision of a referee. So I think it was very important that VAR came in. I watched rugby, and it kind of changed the way that rugby league was played and rugby union was changed, because the referee can make a mistake. They go to VAR. VAR will say, "Nah, you're wrong, mate," and then they just change it. Simple as that. The problem is the handball itself. It's what is a handball. Now, as a defender, you can't tell me, if I go up like that to try and block it, then cool, and it hits my hand, it's a handball. If my hands are down by my side and it hits my arm here, that can't be a handball. Where do you want me to put my arms? Behind my back? I can't physically put my hands behind my back. I think it was the Palace one yesterday with Ward, and it was like, man's hands are down here, and the ball's being hit by 2 meters away from him, and it's a penalty. It doesn't make no sense. You can't defend. So the rule favors the attacking team, and it goes against the defensive team, which means that it's not fair.
But that's what they want. That's what they want. They want it to favour the attacking team. That's why the rule for offside was supposed to be, there's supposed to be daylight between the attacker and the defender. That's what the offside is offside.
Offside and not onside is easy. You're either offside or you're not offside. Handball is a different thing. I think that it should be the VAR says there's a possibility that this could be a handball, Mr. Referee. Go and check the monitor. Have a look at it. You make a decision based on how you feel. Not slow-mo, because slow-mo don't give you the real time of how things are happening. Everything in slow-mo looks bad.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was saying, but then my problem with that is, how do you police that? Because you can't look at it on the basis of let the referee have their own discretion with it, when technically a rule is a rule, right? Handball is handball. So like, I don't know how you police it. That's my problem with that.
Exactly.
But there was a bit like I said with Dyer's handball today. Like the first instance the ref sees is Dyer's arm up like this and the ball hitting the back of his arm, but they didn't show the bit where he's kind of had a little nudge in the back and the build up to it all. Here it goes, hitting his arm. That's it.
So they're looking at it in like isolation. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, there's different things. Like, obviously, we saw Dyer's one today, which was obviously a stonewall penalty. But then we had Lindelof where we got bumped. So there's a lot of it's not consistent at all. Magic, what do you think on it? For you, it's
scrap the whole blood clot thing.
Enough is enough. I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Shit, bro. Shit. It's all shit. VAR shit. It's new handball rule shit. It's all crap. Like, I hear what you man are saying about VAR, but allow it, bro. Because these refs they're sat wherever they are in this little office, and they're still getting it wrong. So scrap it, bro.
That's
but would you keep it for certain things?
Nah, just get rid of it. Like, it is what it is. Like, make the game back to how it used to be. You get me? Because, like, it's stupidness. Like, you're scoring a goal, and then man's going off, like, run into the crowd. Like, you're celebrating your like your goal. Like, say you've got a last minute winner, and then now you've got to wait. You're sitting there waiting, like, man, taking about 2 minutes to let us know whether it's a goal or not. And then it's either booked off or it's a goal or it's some stupidness. Like, as you said, like the toe offside, bruv, allow it, man. Just leave it down to the linos and down to the ref. Whatever they do, whatever mistakes they do, I think what should happen is the refs and the linesmen, the officials, they should be like, they should take account for the mistakes they make. You get me?
Yeah, they should.
That's what I think should happen. They should be sanctioned.
The reason they don't take account for the things they do is they ain't got enough top quality refs to replace them if they get red carded or sacked.
No. What I'm saying is
that's why they done the whole referees respect thing in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
What I think should happen, Tony, is you see, like, these refs, yeah. Obviously, there's loads of refs coming through. There's loads of refs doing their thing, but demote some of them so they can't ref in certain games. When they make these mistakes, there's ways of sanctioning them. Do that. But I think, like, with the whole VAR thing, like, it takes the speed of the game out. It takes the passion of the game out. Like, I'm there, like, when we was going to games, when you could go to games, I'm there and I'm, like, waiting around thinking, wow, what's going on? You can just feel it in the crowd, bro.
Especially at United, there's no screens on that.
So you don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Like,
how you not have no screens? What a
Bro, the Glazers are just trying to. They're not trying to spend peas on the stadium, bro.
What, man can't get a little 48-inch now?
Listen, listen,
See that, bro?
when you're at a football match, you should be watching the game, bro. Forget the screen thing. Watch the game.
True.
So don't worry about the screens, bro. Like, yeah, I think it should be scrapped, all of it. Just leave it down to the officials. Let them call it, and then it gives people like something to talk about. Do you know what I mean? Like, how can there still be debates with VAR? It doesn't make sense to me. You understand? It should just be like a normal thing. Like, all right, cool. That's the right decision. That's the wrong decision. But
what about the knock-on effect, though, Magic? What about the knock-on effect when if there's no VAR and nothing's being questioned, and man are just getting bumped out here each week? Could you imagine Roy Hodgson? Roy Hodgson would have. If this carried on with Roy Hodgson, he'll be having heart attacks out here. We might not see Roy Hodgson when these sorts of things.
What I'm trying to say to you is that's just football, innit? Like, that's why we love the game, because there's so many opinions, there's so many things, like, and it gives everyone like something to talk about. Do you know what I mean?
But like Gibbo said, in rugby, it revolutionised rugby. It moved it on, and for the better, that everyone seems to think on the rugby side. So maybe look, VAR has been trash for a lot of things, but maybe have it for the main things and not the other things.
Yeah, but rugby is different. Rugby has stoppages in it. Football doesn't. If football's a more flowing type of game, so,
that's true.
Like our sport is just something that's is so unique. It can't be compared to other sports that use that type of tech. Do you know what I mean? So
that's true. What they could do is look at bringing in, instead of having actual officials in like the room wherever they sit nowadays. Okay, I just realised what I said, and it's a good idea in my head. Now I say it out loud, it's going to sound stupid, but because it's obviously player who they support and shit like that. But if you had actual ex-pros in there making some of the, like, no, this is football, this is kind of how it should be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
But it's still someone's opinion, isn't it?
It is, but it's not someone that's never played the game before and got bullied to go in goal.
Well, true. But now you've got a footballer's opinion and not an official's opinion.
I would rather that. I'd rather the people making the decisions are football people.
Yeah, 100%.
In whatever you're doing, the people making decisions should be people in that thing. So don't worry, this is old wounds bleeding over, like with our Manchester United board. These are not football people. They know what the hell they're doing. So what I'm saying is like, there shouldn't be just a square making decisions. Like, it should be someone who knows what football is. They've played over the marshes. You get me? Like, someone who's played football, not these squares. Why have they even got a say? What, because they got shares? I don't understand. Like, why have they even got the people making the decisions? Why have they even got a say? Like, the people who are going mad are the ones on TV, the Jamie O'Hara's, like today, the Carragher's, everyone who's on TV, they're going bonkers. Like, who's making these decisions? But it must be people who don't understand football making it.
It's true. It's true. I think it has to be ex-professionals. It's a must, especially with the VAR decisions. It's got to be ex-professionals. I think personally they should be paying them to be at the grounds. They should be at the grounds, not somewhere else. They shouldn't be in fucking Milton Keynes somewhere. Looking at a TV screen. They should be at the grounds, looking at it right there and then, make a decision in 30 seconds. Boom, done, move on.
And because
what is it we don't like about VAR? Everything else is all right except for the handballs, really. If it's a red card and dangerous, they get sent off.
I think
but
they still getting some decisions wrong with it. And it's still not.
That's
one of the issues with it.
Yeah.
But if we take away handball, because that's obviously shocking. People have been getting bumped all the time. Would you say football has been making more correct decisions since VAR or less?
100% more. 100%.
So it must be a success, right?
No, it's just I think.
I wouldn't say 100%.
No way.
Yeah, go on.
Well, it hasn't got any decisions wrong. Hasn't got any.
They've got loads wrong.
They have.
Huh?
They've got loads wrong, bro.
Well, except for that, we just took the handballs out.
I don't think
that the handballs. It's got loads wrong.
But I don't think. But I don't think it's got the decision wrong in a sense. I think that's where the referee's discretion comes in, and that's where it's wrong. Do you get what I'm saying? So in my eyes, the way I see it, like VAR's been it's been making good decisions, but people don't necessarily like the decisions. You get what I'm saying?
Okay,
No
that's good,
no
that's
no one wants to see their team 1-0 up, and then 95th minute, last second of the game, you get a VAR decision, and then it's a penalty, and it's a 1-1. No one wants to see that. But let's be real. Let's be real. Like the VAR's making the right decision. You get what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
want to see it, but if it's the right decision, it's the right decision.
This is what I'm
My thing was, I think the Arsenal-Leicester game last season, and Eddie Nketiah got sent off, straight red card for a challenge because of VAR.
The red card.
The red card, and then in the same, I think it was the same game. I think Vardy kicked man in the face, and he didn't get sent off, and it was in the same game. It's like, but Nketiah is not deliberate. It's not deliberate. Vardy is a deliberate thing. He tried to kick man in the face. So it's like, well, what's going on?
They changed that because the ref couldn't go to the screen. Now the ref goes to the screen and makes his own decision.
But I'm just saying, as man said at the start, teething, as it goes along, they will make changes to it. So for me, VAR is a good thing, as long as they're making the right decision on the back of VAR.
They're still trying to tweak the handball.
You can't make a wrong decision and you're looking at VAR. Then I'm with Magic. Then scrap the thing altogether. You can't make the right decision and scrap it.
If you're looking at the screen in slow-mo and you're still getting it wrong, then get rid of it.
But they're doing that, Tone. That's what I'm saying. When they go into the screen, they're seeing it in slow-mo and it looks worse than what it is.
Yeah.
The Ward one yesterday. The Ward one yesterday wasn't a penalty. Ward yesterday wasn't a penalty. Dyer today wasn't a penalty. Lindelof last week wasn't a penalty. So that's in the last 2 weeks. I've named 3, and I'm sure there's plenty more that have been wrong as well. So that's my issue. Use VAR, but just get it right.
Yeah, it makes sense. What did you say, Charlie?
I think with the penalty decisions, technically by the rule book now, they are penalties. The problem you have with VAR is they keep saying it needs to be clear and obvious. But how is clear and obvious a 3-minute check, slow-mo, going over the same thing 50 times?
That's true. That's not clear at all.
It's like, oh, yeah, decision, wrong decision, there you go, it's a red or it's a penalty. It shouldn't be, let's rewind it, slow-mo, play that clip again, do that.
That's true.
Charlie, I 100% agree with you. But the problem is there's too many repercussions. So if United get a penalty awarded against them, then you got all the management team for United and all that in everyone's ear, and vice versa. And everyone in the Sky Sports studios cussing, it was or it wasn't. There's always repercussions. So they don't want to get it wrong or really badly wrong.
It's like, I'm going to say this, like last year, there was, I think, 2 penalty decisions, right? This is against Spurs as well. So they should have been, I thought, penalties against us, which weren't given. You had one, I think it was Vertonghen against Watford, wiped Delafeu out, and went to VAR, no penalty. And it was literally like, the guy literally took you like this. In normal time, you could tell it was a penalty. He just wiped him out. They've looked at it for about 3 minutes and gone, nah, it's not a penalty. How can you get that wrong? I'm a Spurs fan and I'm saying it.
But they've taken that thing away. Last year, they didn't want to overrule the ref. So if the ref didn't see it, it's a no pen. It wasn't clear and obvious to overrule the ref. So they've changed it now. You can go over to the screen and have a look and make your own decision. That's what they're trying to do.
I know they're trying to do that now, but even like then, it was still clear and obvious. And I think there was one we had with Dele Alli against Everton with a handball. And it's like, yeah, he's handballed it. They spent 3 minutes looking at it. And it was and he's done this. He just palmed it off. Yeah. You're like, what are they looking at?
Yeah. Also, the camera angles on the VAR as well are a joke, because sometimes it's like they're showing a certain angle, like from like there, but then they're not seeing it from a dead straight line. You understand?
Yeah. Some angles show a way better view.
The offsides are still flaky, but nah, man, scrap it, bro. Scrap the whole Ross Clark thing, man. Put in the bin.
Sorry, guys, we got a late comer, Mr. LA, Mr. Leon in the building.
Yo. Hello, guys.
Right, so what we're saying is, what the question is, Lee, is VAR killing the game, or is the new handball rule killing the game, or is both of them killing the game? Are you happy with VAR? The handball rule, what's your view on it?
I'll just come out with it. It's shit. It's dead. Dead. Like, boys, what I've seen like since we started, bro, these VARs, yeah, they're killing me, bro. They're killing my accumulators. They're killing my fantasy football. They're killing everything right now, bro. It's mad. It's mad, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
I'm being real. Listen.
These United fans stick together, don't they, boy?
No, but
One second, you took it out of my mouth. I'm surprised that all United fans don't want it. You would have finished 10th last year.
I hear
With the penalties you lot had.
Nice to see you as well. But listen, let me tell you something, yeah? No, like this thing yesterday with United, yeah? Like, you say United stick together, but listen, I had a conversation with Chris, yeah, earlier on, and mate, it don't make sense to me. Like, the way we got away with this penalty, yeah, is mad. Like, the game was done. The blew the whistle. Don't go back. How do you go back in the game and say, you know what? That's a pen, you know.
Yeah, but that's the rule then. That's the rule now.
But this, like I said to Chris, we've never experienced it. What rule?
I'm happy because I never experienced it.
It just come out of nowhere.
It was always like that, even last year.
So you knew that? You knew that, right?
Yeah, that was the rule. So if there's
what? So you experienced that?
no for full time, they can go back.
What? And give pens and that. Well, you
You know the rule. Listen,
that is mad.
if I'm wrong,
That is mad.
they can if he blew for half time, and he's allowed to bring all the players back.
Oh, nah, I never knew that.
And then go back in.
Okay,
Check
but
it.
listen,
I'm not
you
100%,
telling me
but
that?
check it.
Listen, you telling me that? How mad does it sound? It's the
It
thickest
sounds
shit.
mad.
It's the thickest shit, bro.
But that's exactly what
It's
happened
mad.
against
It's
Brighton.
mad.
You got the penalty, and that was it.
Here's one.
No, but
What happens if, say, for instance, there's a penalty decision that hasn't been given, which later on becomes a penalty, but in the meantime, they've played on, someone's two-footed someone in the fucking leg, broke their leg.
what do you do?
Is it a sending off, or
No.
is it sending off and it's a penalty? Or does the
No.
I think it's not. I think they go back to the penalty.
They go back to the penalty. That man.
And what, the guy with the broken legs is just
It's
broken
peak
legs.
for him, innit? It's peak
It's
for him, innit?
mad.
For them to change it, something like that has got to happen, and then they're going to say, well, if someone breaks the leg and it's a red card after, then it's still a red card. They're going to have to change that if they haven't already.
But I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, Leon. That one yesterday, when that final whistle went, them Brighton fans at home are just like, yeah, we just
We've got a draw. We just got a
draw
draw.
against United, yeah. And then it's like, no, man, I'm ready to cry out there.
Alright,
The only thing I was happy about was that it was Morpay that gave away the penalty, and that's the only thing I was happy about, because he's a dickhead. He's a dickhead from last year. He's a dickhead.
You know what's mad? Yeah, I was on the phone. I was on the phone to both. Yeah, and he phoned me up, and he's obviously laughing. Obviously, it was 2-2. He's asking.
With the Brighton striker?
It was 2-2, right? He called me up. My head was rattled. I turned the TV off, and my head was rattled. Yeah, I can't lie to you, right? And he goes to me, "Oh, like what? Like, man, you're lucky, man. You're lucky. Like, got a draw. You should have beat you." I said, "You know what? We should have lost. I'm not gonna lie, should have lost." Yeah. And he goes, "Oh, there's a penalty. There's a penalty." But I'm thinking in my head, the game's done. Like, what the fuck? Like, he's trying to rubbish. He's trying to banter me. I'm thinking, yeah. Anyway, I've come off the phone now, and I've come into our group, and I've seen, Bruno, there's a penalty. I'm thinking, wait, have we got a penalty? I thought the game was done, bro. Listen, they scored. That's why I come in the chat saying, United. Because what? I didn't have a clue. I was fuming. But listen, it made my day. It made my day. On the table,
let me tell you something, yeah. I'm watching the thing, yeah. Like, I'm just watching the thing anyway. I'm not going to tell you how I was watching it, but I was watching the thing. Anyway, I'm watching the thing, and anyway, boom, whistle goes. I'm like, no. Because you know me, I'm a troll. I'm bare active. I'm on everyone's neck. So as soon as you lose or draw, everyone's on to me. So I thought, I'm going to get rushed. Old school. Birthday beats. I'm going to get rushed. So I thought, all right, you know what? I'm going to have to take this on the chin, yeah? So I started typing, oh, man, I can't believe it. We're dead. Go on, boys. Have me. But as I'm typing it, someone said, United are so lucky. How's that a penalty? I said, penalty? See, I've watched the whistle go. I've watched it in my eyes. I've turned off the TV. I'm sad. Yeah. I said, what do you mean? I said, what are you talking about? I thought, you're not getting me. You think I'm stupid, yeah? So I've gone on to live score. It said 3-2 Man United. I said, are you mad, Cass? Hey, bro, gas. There, gas.
Mad. I was going to gun for you as well. I was coming for Chris, boy. Oh, mate. I was pissed. I can't even lie. I was mad pissed.
There would have been injustice. The ref missed the handball, so United only get a draw. How is that? That's injustice.
That's not injustice, bro. That's what they
Jeez.
deserve, bro.
The man's handball
Nah.
blatant.
Over the years,
Man's
they
like this off
they
time,
robbed, man.
We got
He
knocked
thinks
in
he's
the
gonna get
first.
sacked for the handball.
We got knocked against Crystal Palace. Don't get me wrong, we was crap. They should have beat us anyway. But we got knocked against Crystal Palace. If we got knocked again, I would have been. I've been like, it's working. All this agenda everyone's trying to say, Penandes and it's working. It's actually working.
That inside their face started burning Vardan there. If that happens, thing.
Bro, I wouldn't have been happy. Because now we got next Spurs. You lose 3 games, no points. Yeah, mad, very mad, very mad. But I tell you this: the reason why I'm not so sad is this. I'm Team Ollie. I've always been Team Ollie. But this season is my last season of Team Ollie. He has to show me something. So if he doesn't, because I know where it is. When you get an old team and they play the old way and the old players, it's hard to come in and change that. You need players, not money spent. You need players like your own team. So I said, I'm going to give him time. This season, like, even if the board don't back him, I want to at least see us playing well. Like, as long as we play well, fair enough, he wasn't backed by the board. I don't expect nothing higher than 4th. If you scrape 4th, I'm happy with that. But if not, if he does get the sack, there's managers out there waiting, bro. Whoever gets the sack first, Poch is waiting. People are onto the Leeds manager now, Bielsa, the RB Leipzig manager. People onto these managers now. So I'm not too sad. And it don't matter who we get. Our board ain't going to back them anyway. So it don't really matter.
He's got a lot to do though, because you, man, got peppered yesterday. I could not believe you was still in the game.
Yeah,
they hit the bar, post,
Skip. I agree.
Crossbar,
I agree, man.
like five times against the woodworks, and I was just like, rah. And then you just went and turned it around.
But snatch and
God
grab.
loves you, man.
But the thing is, that's how it is at the beginning of the season. No one comes into the season playing well. It's who can get the 3 points. And then after like 10 games, then it's like, right, who's still there? And then who carries it on from there? You know what I'm saying? So,
bro. We've had no pre-season, Man United.
Yeah, nothing.
Man.
No one wants to talk about that, though.
What do you mean you ain't had no pre-season?
We didn't play any friendly games. We didn't have any training.
One friendly.
Nothing.
Why?
One friendly.
Four first team players was in that friendly. 4.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep saying we had 0 because 4 ain't enough. And you're saying why? Because we got the furthest in the European competition. So we had to have our time off.
Have a break.
Yeah, while you was training and pre-seasoning and having friendlies. We didn't have.
But it makes sense because City are getting spanked as well. And
they're the same as us.
As well.
It's us and them. Yeah. That's it.
That's why they postponed our first game. So we're not up to speed yet. We're going to need 5-6 games before we're up to speed. But you still have. It sounds stupid, but you still have enough in your team to beat teams like Crystal Palace and Brighton. But we know when a team is already sharp, there's not a lot you can do.
Yeah, you can see they were sharp. You can see the clubs have played us they're sharp at the moment. So it is what it is, isn't it?
We're ready for the champagne, baby. We're ready for the goose, the Emmy, the girls that we're seeing on the telly. We do it for the pounds and the penny.